Guys, Oz here, and what we're going to do in this video is basically Abyss Demon 101. Um, I've been kind of meaning to get around and doing some videos just on the individual characters. Abyss Demon is probably the guy that I've put the most amount of tender loving care in. He's 45 with his 4 mercenaries, 20th 20 on his skill. I have him to Sagittarius right now. I'm some shards away. I think I'll have the 450 mutagen by the time I get the 800 more shards, and then we'll get him Divine too. Uh, Using him as an aid, he deals area attack 65% after damage dealt every 8 attacks. My talents on this guy are really not that fantastic. I haven't had the gems to invest in them, so definitely we could go a little better there. His sword is basically a level 101 Thunderblade. The bonus attributes are 1100 to attack, about 20,000 hit points. Mercenary attack 25%. Hero hit rate 13. Crit and crit resist about 7.5%. So he is pretty big. Also, the Thunderblade is show you real quick. Every 6 attacks, every 7 attacks, it's going to hit 6 enemies. And he usually does about 23,000 worth of heal to himself. So multiply that by 6, so you're getting about 150,000 heal on him. Basically, the way I have my Abyss Demon set up is pretty much the same for Battle Royale. I use a Chiron for reflection and for a little bit of an attack boost because he's going to draw a whole lot of aggro from the heroes. He seems to get beat on pretty good. If I take a landslide, then I take that Chiron off and I'll give him more. I'll usually put the Sapphirex on there for more damage. So in essence, basically what you can do here with the Abyss Demon, you're looking for attack or damage or attack rate increases. You want him to hit fast, you want him to hit hard, and you want him to hit successfully a lot. So for Battle Royale, Chiron is going to give him attack and reflection. Blockhead is going to attack rate. And Pangoli, it's more of a security blanket. I probably don't need that. But, I can't. Sometimes he's gone down to 0 hit points. And that 5 seconds, he's full health. So, like I said, once again, more of a comfort thing than probably an actually need. For Arena, pretty much similar. I use the Sapphirex, though, because I'm looking for damage. As you can see, I have Landslide front and center for my Arena. So I don't... basically, Landslide's going to taunt. So I have the reflection all on Landslide there. And then with Abyss, we have Sapphirex for damage, Blockhead for attack rate, and then Pangoli once again, just in case he gets down to 0 hits. And then with everything else, I'll tell you the only reason I have Landslide right there is for laziness. Whenever I'm doing Guild Clash and it's a tough base, I'll put Landslide where Sapphirex is, and then I'll put Sapphirex where Landslide is. If it's not a tough base and I just want to get more DPS, then I put Sapphirex in there. It's just quick for me to change it out like this, and then, whoops, and then I put Landslide right there. So it's just a quick change out. Obviously today we're not going against anything that I'm going to need a Landslide. So we'll put him back here as an aid. And then Sapphirex right there. Okay, so now I'm going to kind of go through and show you the different aids. Sapphirex, real quick. He deals 20% damage, which is different than 20% attack. Basically, damage just means every attack he does is going to do more damage. I've played back and forth with this. It's really hard to get solid numbers just because of how inconsistent stuff is. But I seem to get much better results using the Sapphirex for damage than I do for like a Skull Mage for attack. Blockhead is attack rate. He's going to deployed here is attack about 40%. He's just going to hit 40% faster. Obviously, the more he hits, the faster he hits, the more heals that he does. So blockhead is the 1-8 I will not take off of this guy. Everything else we can play around with. Um, and then obviously Pangoli, you know what he does. He's attack rate of hero near death. Basically 9 seconds is the key here. He gives you 9 seconds to get out of jail and try to heal himself back up to full health. Other heroes you can use for Abyss Demon. Chiron, I showed you him a while ago. I mean, I talked about him, I didn't show you. But he increases the attack by 30%. Skull Mage is going to give you 40%. So 30%. But what Chiron's also going to do is he's going to reflect 15% of the attack damage and 45% of the skill damage. So when I'm using Abyss as my main tank, I try to put a Chiron 8 on him to reflect that 15% of attack damage. And what that'll do is, in essence, it kills a lot of the mercenaries just on its own, just on the reflection. And that's pretty much the only aids I use for him. I'm sure you could use others, but those are the ones that I had the landslide earlier, but he just recovers hit points every 6 seconds. Believe me, Abyss is going to recover much more than 3.6% hit points every 6 seconds. The only reason I had the landslide as an aid was literally just for convenience sake. So we'll do maybe one or two fights. I'm just going to drop Abyss, kind of show you what he's going to do. Put him in this corner up here. And we'll go. So you can see he's going to be healing probably for about 13,000 himself. Basically, that flurry of heals is the Thunderblade going off. So he's going to be healing himself for 15,000. He's going to be healing all the other mercenaries and heroes for about 8,000. Whoops. Incredibly effective. I mean, I can't say enough about how effective Abyss is. The other thing is, as long as you have your skill applied, when you hit his divine is going to go through and whack 6 or 7 things. I don't even know. But I'll show you here in a second once I get to the point where I want him flying around. Get this bank out and then we'll do it. Alright, so we're going to hit his divine, and he's basically just going to... Whoa, that was the sword going crazy there. Somehow I screwed that up. Basically, the sword went through and wiped out everything. We'll do one more so I can show you the divine a little bit better. I won't do the whole base. But you can see he doesn't get down in health very much, especially on bases like that. That was a pretty decent base. See if we can't find one a little bit tougher here. Yeah, I mean, it's still GG Biscuit. That's a bot. But, so you know they're not going to have any divines, fortitudes, anything like that. But they are at least fairly high level. So we're just going to start them off. I'm going to show you what the divine does. As long as I have the skill applied when I click the divine, it's going to do a flurry of heals. So it's kind of like a get out of jail free card. You can use it for other reasons. It's got other benefits to it. Also, it causes it gives them 35 seconds of stun resist. It causes the mobs to do like 30% less damage. But the main reason I use it is for I use it for the heals. Just and that's pretty much Abyss Demon all wrapped up. He's very, very powerful in just about every facet of the game. The only time I don't bring him along is if, like Battle Royale, the earlier ones where there's just no chance, you don't need a heal. But he's kind of, once again, he's a really hard guy to leave out of my lineup, I found. He's just, the damage is not very fast, but he's going to keep everybody alive, and keeping people alive just means that less time for me to wait when they die. And he's not bad damage. I mean, you'll see him. He'll go through this town hall pretty quickly. He's not bad DPS, but just not fantastic. The main thing he's there for is for the heals. So that's Abyss Demon. Pretty much 101. Everything you need to know about him. If you have any questions, concerns, please leave them below. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you later.